Welcome, everybody. I'm Luscious Balzac from FJRD, bringing you Battle for Midway. This is a Division E or Group 5 matchup between NAFF, EDT, and FJRD SRM. Joined with me today is Umbral Dancer. Umbral?
Evening all.
So, you know about NAFF.
I do indeed.
What do you think we should expect from NAFF tonight?
NAFF are very well prepared generally.
Mm-hmm.
However, they tend to have a lot of fresh members in, so I would expect some strong individual play. And if they manage to get the group mojo together, then they're definitely a force to be reckoned with. So we'll see how they gel. We'll see how the comms go. We'll see how Nerves takes the new members, and take it from there. But all in all, generally, NAFF are pretty good.
All right. Yeah, I know the FJRD guys. I know some of them. I know Sylventa, Decibel, CERN. The other guys I'm not too familiar with, but you know what? They're FJRD. They're part of my pack, and I'm excited to see what they bring. With a name like FJRD SRM, I expect them to bring lots of SRMs.
SRM, NSR, no skill rush.
Yeah.
Charge forward, fire missiles.
Hold the W key.
Just to alleviate the confusion as well, there is a Fjord member on the NAFF team, and he is meant to be there. That is Rain, who's a recent addition to the NAFF squad.
Yeah. Will be a little confusing on the when swapping sides, but you know what? We'll get to that bridge when we get to it. Oh man. So, are you competing in this tournament at all?
No, I'm not competing. I took a tournament out to relax. I played MechWarrior loosely for 10 years until March 2023, and I got back into the game by asking on the NWO forums what's a good build these days. I was immediately PM'd by Mytilus, who said, "Come join our Discord, and we'll go through some comp, and you can play some comp for us." I was like, okay, and I went from a super casual MechWarrior player, owning 40 mechs, to 260 mechs 12 months later. And I spend most of my life in quick play.
Nice. Yeah, me personally, I'm trying to phase out from the competitive scene, but you know what? I still get asked to come back, play on some teams here and there. We'll see what the next tournament brings if I decide to end my retirement. Alrighty, looks like both teams are locked, so let's just jump into the match.
Those not familiar with the format, it's best of 5, 2 matches on Frozen City Night with a team swap, followed by it will be
Forest Colony
Snow Classic.
Yep.
If you haven't seen that map for a long time or during any events recently, it's an interesting map. Again, a team swap after the 3rd round, and then there will be a pick ban selection of 3 maps for the final drop, with Fjord banning a map, NAFF picking a map, and then Fjord choosing which side they want.
That is correct.
We are loaded in, and I'm going to take NAFF.
And I'll be on the Fjord side. So why don't you tell us what NAFF's got over there?
So, as a brief overview, there is 2 Arctic Wolves, Mislinks, Flea, Orion, and an Orion. Looks like a very brawl-based deck. And they've immediately backcapped Sig and started to push through to the Charlie line.
Nice. Over here on Fjord side, we have mechs going towards Theta. We've capped Sigma, Epsilon, 2 mechs running out towards Theta. Looks like both teams are going to be squaring up here, right on the outskirts of, what is that? Charlie 3's the little hill thingy. So out towards the city, out by the drop ship.
Charlie 3 is the saddle, the saddle for this map, yeah.
But yeah, over here on Fjord side, we have a Jenner 2C Fury, 2 Hunchback 2C A's, a Javelin 11F, a Warhammer Black Widow, a Locust 3V, and a Rifleman 2C2. Okay,
we have a heavy right side push with the Orions pushing over the saddle and into the next set of buildings. There are multiple UAVs up, but they all appear to be on the NAFF side of the map, so I'm not sure if Fjord managed to spot them coming in.
I think they saw the mechs running over the hill.
Yep. Now, oddly, there's no collapse from Fjord as this brawl push comes through. And CERN is taking a heavy focus and goes down.
NAFF doing a great job keeping balled up and focusing their fire. Looks like Lemythe has been legged. Down goes IH-1066.
And he is Descabil has finished him off. It looks like a pretty spread damage across the board, with Fjord taking the brunt of it so far.
Yep. Down goes TK Delta, World Spawn, and Sylventa in quick succession. Down goes Decibel.
The Javelin. And now it's just die Crazy Carl, and I think that is what NAFF wants him to do.
Yep.
He's in a hunchback, he is well out of the fight. And he's not moving, and he's just
given up
by the look of it.
Yep.
Yeah. So good brawl push from NAFF. I think Fjord could have reacted a little bit faster and not had a couple of mechs sat over in the Bravo 4 area at that point.
Yep.
Plenty of UAVs up, but all the UAVs for Fjord seem to be way out of position. And we wait for the final caps.
And I'm gonna go ahead and update the scoreboard real fast. Boop. Ta-da. Looking at the damage numbers, we got a pretty even spread across both teams. One player from both teams dropping over 500, but the majority being around the 200 to 300 damage range.
Yeah. Fjord Rain and the Arctic Wolf doing a lot of work. 2 kills, 5 assists, 514 damage. Fjord Rain is a NAFF team member. Which is going to be both hilarious.
So I guess you could say...
yes, and confusing.
I guess you could say that Fjord pulled the highest damage on both teams.
Fjord pulled highest damage on both teams, yeah. I think the key point there was that NAFF's push was stronger and more focused.
It was.
Yeah, there was just a couple of mechs just too far out for Fjord.
Alrighty. And I'm going to get that 5-minute start, that 5-minute rolling. Now, what's interesting about that last drop, the very first drop, is that it lasted all but like 2 minutes. It was very fast.
Yeah, it was just a full on brawl rush from one team, which tends to set the clock at a very low time.
Yep.
Especially if Team 2 can't extend or gain distance or gain range. You tend to see a lot of brawl pushes over really quick, especially on such a small map as well.
Mm-hmm.
Effectively, without jump jets, this map is half of Frozen City, and without jump jets, it's half of Frozen City Night again, because you tend not to go into the valley.
Yep.
I was surprised to see a Locust go into the valley and cap Theta, as they only have 2 ways back up, and it's a long walk to get there. So,
Well, I mean, 2 ways. I feel like there's more than 2 ways. Like you can go up towards the team 1 side spawn.
You go alpha lane and up, or or you can go back on yourself and go back up the ramp. But with a jump, with like the javelin, if it wanted to get up there, it would have just leapt and gone into Bravo 4, Bravo 3, and got straight back into the fight without having to go effectively the long way around for a light.
Yeah. Gonna pull up the map strat just so that people can see.
We got somebody with a mech locked in game.
Why are the grids so wonky on the broadcast? That makes no sense.
I suppose it'd be handy if I went on to the broadcast and didn't have an advert. It's well out of the fight.
So yeah, we won't be able to see the map up on the stream just yet. Still got another 5 minutes until then. But looking at the broadcast from my side, like what's being broadcasted, it's only showing four little sections, but I don't know. We'll see. 1 minute, 40 second.
My map was on Frozen City Day.
Yeah, so Team 2 essentially did this sort of movement. Meanwhile, Team 1 kind of just brawled straight over.
Yeah, a lot of mechs went into Charlie 3, so they followed more of a tight hugging path across into Charlie 4 and then over, and then into a main fight in this area where it all went down. What I mentioned before in regards to lights is on Theta you can only get back up as a light without jump jets, or as a mech without jump jets, through Bravo 4, or you have to come back on yourself and come up the hill at this point.
Yep. But there is also the option of wrong tool, of going up and taking Gamma. You know, if that seems viable for
if your team is calling brawl push, then you want every one of your mechs. Yeah, it's definitely viable in a cap strat, but as soon as your team says we are getting brawl pushed, you really don't want any of your mechs anywhere else but in the fight.
Yep.
Especially so early in the game. If it's late, then maybe you send a light somewhere to go flip a cap and try and slow the game down a bit. But so soon on, you want every gun possible, shooting a leg or a back.
That is very true.
Especially those Locust 1Vs now. The Locust 1V DPS with 4 heavy machine guns or 4 machine guns. No, it's 4 heavy machine guns and a medium X-Pulse is just ridiculous. They get effectively 6 heavy machine guns and 50% cooldown on their medium X-Pulse. Or alternatively, they get 50% cooldown on everything, which can also include AP Gauss now.
Did they get switched to
they
50% cooldown on everything?
Mech. They've got it. Yeah, they have a 50% cooldown on everything. Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I haven't.
Super high DPS mech.
I have not been keeping up on the patch notes.
Patch note wise as well. The new mech came out the other day, the Black Hawk Poo, which has definitely some funky DPS.
I've been seeing some videos here and there, and it looks like with the UAC 5s, it unloads damage.
It cannot do 2 UAC 5s. I had this argument online last night that it has 18 tons to play with if you want full armor everywhere, which you really do tend to. 2 UAC 5s is 18 tons, so you've got no ammo. You have to drop 2 tons worth of armor from somewhere to be able to have ammo in it. But 2 standard AC5s, you get 412 rounds, which is bonkers, and they fire nearly every 0.2 seconds. 0.4 seconds, something like that. Oh, we're in.
We are in. Sorry, they called block. I was trying to get everything situated with the scoreboard, making sure that the teams are situated on the correct sides. Anyways, over here on Team 1 side, that's the blue team. That's FJRD SRM. We have a Thunderbolt 10 SE, a Roughneck Bolt, a Warhammer Black Widow, an Osiris 1V, a Javelin 11F, an Arctic Cheetah A, and an Osiris 1P. What do we got over there on NAFF side?
Over on Team 2 for NAFF, we have a Bush.
Sounds like your mic is cutting out.
Shadowcat Misupissus. I believe the Misupissus will be machine gun focused. I'll try and get a build on those now. 6 heavy machine guns, 4 medium pulse lasers. So that's a mid-range / brawl bracket build. And it looks like NAFF are setting up to receive.
That it does.
A very slow-moving brawl. If it is indeed a brawl at all. I would expect with a Warhammer Black Widow and a Roughneck Bolt and a Thunderbolt that this is a mid-range poke deck with some brawl light skirmish involved instead.
Yeah, I'm seeing AC5s on that Roughneck, UAC 5s on the Black Widow. Looks like Sylvent over here in the Osiris 1P is trying to pick a fight with these 4 lights and pseudo lights.
Your sound is cracking out a little bit there, dude. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Your voice is cutting out like crazy from my end.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, your sound cut out there. Apologies.
Looks like FJRD SRM is letting NAFF get away with capping Theta. Never mind. They're sending the lights down towards Theta.
Yeah, so Rain is fighting against this this machine gun Arctic Cheetah at the moment. The Cheetah is very out of position, but he has obviously dragged a few mechs to go take him out. I don't think he'll last very long. We do get an Osiris 1V coming in, which is a very, again, high DPS light since it got patched. And finally, there is a solid brawl with some Overwatch from the second Osiris 1P from Sylvente. Dalen finally goes down.
Rain goes down. It's a 4v3 situation down here at Theta.
And it seems like fair trade in Theta Valley.
Down
like
goes
Goodall is the next focus.
Down goes Die Crazy Carl.
Yeah. It looks like Descabill is legged and focused by 3 mechs from NAFF.
Goodall goes down.
Oh, Descabill pulls a kill in the 3v1. Before he goes down himself eventually. And it is 3 kills to NAFF, 2 to Fjord at this moment. It looks like the skirmish is going more towards Fjord's way though, with Raging Chili on 60%. He seems to be backing out of the fight as well. He is open side torso with 4 large expulsors. Any common sense in the builds, there won't be an XL assault. There still are some fresh fast movers on NAFF though.
Thunderbolt 10 SE getting some laser burns off on the Shadowcat Mishipishu AC Glint. Looks like Fjord just taking up a defensive position right now, not really worried about caps. I don't know, I think they have about another 25-30 seconds until they need to start worrying about the caps. Ooh, Sylventa gets legged. That's not good. Sylventa sending those SRMs just straight into the ground. See what's going on over here. Samzeal getting some trades off on CERN and the Thunderbolt 10 SE.
And almost 100 points, so something needs to change in that dynamic real soon if NAFF want to stand a chance. Damage is pretty even between both teams.
Yep. However, NAFF does have the light going around to cap Gamma. Yeah, I don't know what was happening there. For some reason, my Discord got disconnected for a moment.
Yeah. I think that one light mech in the Firestarter is going to be key with Passenger. Hopefully he flips... I say hopefully. Hopefully for NAFF, he will flip 2 caps and put a bit of pressure on Fjord to push forward.
Well, Fjord...
all teams are really damaged at the moment, so this could go anyway.
Fjord really needs to worry about caps right now. They're 100 tickets behind. It's a 4-1 cap in NAFF's favor.
You are right. I read the teams the wrong way around. Apologies. It looks like this Mishipishu is legged because it's moving particularly slow. Yeah, it's legged, open CT, 27% health.
Yep, down went Sylvent.
This Bolt is on 30% as well. which is, the bolt is a stick. It had both side torsos out. So that was a standard engine bolt.
Looks that way.
Yeah. How did he have room for guns? Are they light AC5s?
Nope. They're just...
No,
They
Warhammer
are...
Black Widow is halved and down to 2. Oh, and NAFF win on points.
Yep.
Managing to keep Fjord engaged and not looking at the clock.
And I'm going to take a moment to update the scoreboard.
Black Widow of A6BC, 705 damage, 1 kill, no assists. So he must have had one member of NAFF pinned for the entire match.
Yeah, I wonder
Not a very high
what mech
kill game.
that they killed.
It would have been, I would imagine, the Goodall was killed in the brawl down low. Yep. Spider was killed in the brawl down low, so I guess it was D-Cloud's Mishu Pishu.
More than likely. Alrighty, let's get back to the lobby.
Let's all go to the lobby. I don't know if the young ones these days are old enough to know that from old theatre. Back in oldie timies, and in one niche cinema where I come from, there used to be a halfway break when you went to the pictures to watch a movie.
Yeah, intermission.
The intermission, where people come round selling ice creams and popcorn and drinks and so on and so forth. Yeah, there is still one place in Liverpool that does that.
Really?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, it has never changed. It has 40 seats in the whole place.
I'll have to come by and visit that someday. Grab a plane ticket.
Or you could just watch a movie at home and turn it off halfway through. It'd be much cheaper. So we are not swapping sides this time, but we are swapping map
and region.
Map and region to Forest Colony Snow Classic.
I don't know. I kind of like that pronunciation. Forest.
Forest Colony Snow Classic.
Oh man.
It's a sub 17, negative 17 degrees map. Very good for laser vomits. A lot of water as well. Even better if you could fit.
Heat sinks in the legs.
Heat sinks in the legs, yeah. Which, as not a lot of people run single heat sinks these days, except for clan can fit regular good heat sinks into their legs, but you'll never get a double heat sink in an inner sphere leg.
Yep. Those slots, they just eat so many slots. 3 slots. Ugh.
Don't get me wrong, there are some 100-tonners, like the Annihilator single heatsink build.
Stalker single heatsinks.
Single heatsink build, yeah.
Pretty sure you could get away with it on an awesome as well.
Maybe. I don't run a lot of awesomes. I've only ever owned one awesome, and it was the missile boat. Which I bought for an event where you had to get a lot of missile damage.
Gotcha. See, I power through all of those events with spiders.
The missile spider.
Yeah, man. The spider and Nanzi, you get 1 missile hardpoint right in the CT.
No, I definitely don't own the Anansi. Ananasi, is it? Ananasi. Yeah,
Anansi.
that would make that would make sense. Ananasi is the African spider god.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know what they're the god of, but I know they're an African spider god.
I think they're a storyteller.
I'm trying to think back to American Gods now because he was played in American Gods by the wide receiver from the Replacements. I can never remember his name.
No idea.
I watch too much TV.
Too much telly.
Too much television through my monocle. When the adverts come on, we break for tea and crumpets and a game of cricket. Which is like baseball, but you only run straight.
Oh,
and
man.
The ball has to bounce.
The ball has to bounce? What?
Has to bounce.
You can't catch it if it doesn't bounce?
No, it technically doesn't have to bounce, but it makes it when you put spin on the ball and it hits the ground, it makes the ball just shoot off in a random direction, or whichever way the ball is spun direction. So you can get quite a lot of cut. It's kind of like a curveball.
Gotcha.
But it hits the ground, and then literally as soon as it hits the ground, it just whizzes off in a different direction. So.
Alrighty, both teams are locked.
So if you want to do Fjord Team 1 first, then I will introduce NAFF afterwards.
Yep. Forest Colony Snow Classic.
So match 3, NAFF are up 2-0 at the moment. Is that right?
That is correct.
Coming into this, though, I believe while NAFF were seeded as Team 1, NAFF are currently 2-1 in the tournament, and Fjord are currently 3-0 in the tournament. Is that right?
I do not know. I've not been following any of the teams.
Yeah, so this would effectively make it 3-1 between both teams. I don't know who is in the top of this division, so we are in and gone already.
Alrighty, so over here on FJRD SRM side, that's blue team. We have a Thunderbolt 5ST, a Roughneck 3A, a Warhammer 2C10, a Kit Fox C, a Mad Cat 1, an Osiris 1P, and a Blood Asp Rancor. What are you seeing over there on Team 2 side?
So over here, the easiest spot for me is 3 Atlas 7 RSs, which have, I would imagine, single heat 6 in the legs. Spider 5K, Blackjack Arrow, Viper F, and a fire starter. So looks like it's going to be a very, very flashing purple laser build from NAFF as they cut across the water to get angles on the land side. Passenger, unfortunately, looks like he's taken quite a lot of damage in the initial engagement as the fire starter. I think he exposed to their whole team. Fjord should be repositioning to receive this at this point. If they allow NAFF to get within 600 meters, then
those large X pulses will just hurt. Looks like NAFF making a push for the ship.
So I'd also imagine this Blackjack Arrow to have 2 large X-Pulsers as well, which he does, 2 large X-Pulsers, 6 light machine guns. So all in all, there is 14 large X-Pulsers just in these 4 mechs with some light backup. Okay, and NAFF make the push. So NAFF pick a target. NAFF are focusing SRM in the Warhammer at the moment. SRM ducks into cover. NAFF push wide to try and get targets on the Mad Cat 2C.
CERN in that Warhammer 2C getting real beat up here.
Yeah, oh.
Down goes CERN.
That was quick. He went from 60 to 0.
Yep, CT went bye-bye.
Okay, and another quick death from the Mad Cat 2.
Down goes in-team and a
Roughneck pushes into all of the red lasers. One Atlas has gone down, and the fire starter for NAFF.
Sylventa goes down. Looks like Decibel will be the next target called here.
Yeah, only a Basilisk, a Thunderbolt, and a Kif Fox remaining for Fjord. And I would imagine this Basilisk and the Thunderbolt have got no way of getting away from this.
Nope.
And it's the Kif Fox job to make it get as much distance as possible now.
Oop.
And it looks like he is getting chased down by the Viper. There's a lot of hit scan weapons, which mean lights tend to not last very long against expulsors or machine guns.
Yep.
And that is it. That is 3-0 and the game and match to NAFF. Of course, every win is important, as each win will determine seedings and position in the league, as well as prizes at the end of the tournament.
Yep.
And again, from Samziel, 729 damage from one Atlas, 531 from the other. Quite high damage from Fjord, but very spread over 3 Atlases.
Yep.
Drake's Firestarter was Giga Splat for 56 damage. However, he did manage to get 5 assists, so I'm assuming they're all spot and assists rather than damage assists.
Probably dropped a UAV right on top of SRM. Yeah.
Awesome game. Quick game.
Very quick game.
So this is an example of I mentioned individually NAFF's pilots are quite good, but they tend to have a lot of new team members, and it's getting that team member gel. This team seems to have gelled pretty well over the last 3 games. Yeah, well, I'm impressed. I mightn't even have my spot back on the team. So it is Forest drop 4, Forest Colony again, with a side swap.
And I have started the 5-minute timer for Team 1. So we've seen the Atlases. Do you think we'll see Chargers or Executioners coming out from NAFF here on drop 4?
I honestly don't know. Yeah, I honestly don't know. There's a lot of last minute changes. It's planned ahead in the week, but there was a good few last minute changes coming into today.
Okay.
One thing NAFF does really well is it goes and gets players from Div A and B to scrim against them, so they play against very, very good opponents on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
And it normally means that quite a lot of the time in practice you get your ass kicked, but
oh yeah,
if you're constantly playing against better players and they can give you feedback, then the room for improvement is massive. And yeah, if you can adjust and you can score a few drops off a Div A team, then even better.
Yep.
It's really good for confidence. It's really good for knowledge. You get to see, what builds a Div A team would bring, how to counter it. There's a good discussion afterwards on what to do. So yeah, go out there and play against better people. Don't be afraid to lose.
Yep. And
One thing I haven't seen,
that's good advice. Don't be afraid to lose. Don't be afraid to
if
get
you
your ass kicked.
if you lose and learn, is it really a loss?
Exactly.
If you lose and then do the same thing over and over again, then yeah. But one thing I am expecting on this map that I haven't seen for a good long while would be a tunnel push.
Tunnel
Yeah,
push.
there is a tunnel on Forest Colony Snow.
Yep.
If you take a look at your map,
I'll pull that up for the viewers.
yeah, it starts in Charlie 4 on the edge of Bravo 4. You can just see the edge of the tunnel, and ends in Bravo 3. And it is very dark, and there's a lot of cover through that tunnel. If you can sneak a couple of lights or mediums through there, then you can get a jump on Sigma from Team 2, or you can be in the back line of Team 1. The issue being is if you get caught in the entryway of either of them, your options are fight or die. Basically,
Yep.
there's generally not a lot of room to turn around and run away unless you're super fast. And both entryways are in high cover, tight positions, so it is a risk to take the tunnel. But if it works, it pays off. But it is very, very dark in the tunnel. Like,
it's dark, but
even night vision and heat vision do very, very little in there.
yeah. One of the issues with the tunnel push though is this little trench right here on the Bravo 3 Charlie 2 corner. It's a choke point. So
Yeah.
if a team is set up, in this area, Charlie 2 to Charlie 3, where they have that concave firing line, if you push into that choke point, you have to make sure that you are twisting your damage and spreading as much of it as you can as you make your advance. Otherwise, you will not be able to get within any range.
Team 2 are locked. Yeah. Team 2 are locked up. Yep. Just on if you tend to have snipers in the Charlie 2 area and you notice a brawl push coming through, your best counter for it is to just hit the water. Go to Delta 2, Delta 3, turn around and face the land and catch them as they come through the tight ground. Get as much distance as possible, because there's a lot of cover leading from Bravo 3 into Charlie 2.
Yep.
Okay. And NAFF are Team 1 for this, so I'll go first. Is that right?
That is correct.
Let me make sure my recording is recording the match and not the map. And I'd suggest you do the same.
Oh, I already switched. I already switched the scene.
I've just switched. Yeah. I had a very exciting round 5 match that I streamed, which was probably one of the best brawls I've seen, one of the best moves I've seen, and I completely missed it.
Did you radio cast it?
Oh yeah, full radio cast.
Ooh. Looks like there has been a hold call.
Oh, I will not call for any builds then, if that's the case. I can't see chat for some reason. Is there
So it loaded up. I heard, or I saw holding in the chat as we loaded in. Um, but yeah, as spectators, we do not get to chat until the teams have loaded in.
Right. It's okay. So do we know who responded?
I believe it was NAFF responding to a hold request from SRM.
Right, okay. We've got no way of telling who's disconnected or what the issue is, have we? So, right, let's not radio cast builds if that's the case, because if there's a redrop, then yeah,
yep.
Okay. So there is going to be a redrop. So I believe the team that calls for a redrop needs to kill themselves. Is that right?
Probably. I mean, I don't think it really matters. I think the only thing that matters is one team has to capture a point, the other team has to kill themselves.
Yeah.
Looks like Decibel getting some sort of CryEngine error, or at least that's what's being reported here in the match.
One thing I can confirm, and only because I'm not streaming live, is that apart from one mech, Fjord's team are all winter camo, which I enjoy when I see a map load in.
Ah, that they are. And it looks like we're going through with the redrop.
Yeah. Not necessarily the same with NAFF, as two of their mechs are bright orange.
Hey, you know what? They're out hunting. They want to make sure there's no friendly fire, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, so, right, there is going to be a 1v1v1v1v1v1v1 brawl on Fjord's team.
Or if they're smart, they'll just, overheat, cook themselves.
Well, everybody decided to fight each other except for Descabil, who's having the issues, and everybody is just farming Descabil. They're all shooting a different location. Yep, he got to 20% 14% before he died. Headshot from CERN onto A6 BC. Is that an alt name, or is he just... Could he not think of a better name than...
I have no clue.
Does it mean something?
I have no clue.
Die Crazy Carl is just the Crazy Carl, but German. Now, I don't know which mech would be better killing themselves here.
The Incubus would have a easier time killing themselves with the two.
Yeah.
2-year.
However, I don't think that's going to happen. He's just been halved by the mauler.
I don't know if.
Yeah, he can't overheat himself not reliably with one mech. He's going to have to find a way out of bounds. Ideally, the mauler went last there and just kept firing the AC5s, because that's a hot build in general.
Yep.
Yeah, Crazy Carl's going to try and find his way to the edge of the map, which is exceedingly tough without jump jets.
One would say near impossible unless you go out towards the water.
Oh no, here we go. Let's see if he's taking any heat damage. Oh, there you go. He managed to find a way out of bounds. That was all right. CERN with 2 headshots in that little brawl. Don't know why I published the stats. That's obviously not for this game.
Yeah, I almost hit the button. Almost did.
So there should be 0 changes. Everybody should be in there. Right lance, right mech. Should immediately lock, and then get straight back into the game.
Yep. Well, actually, no. So redrop, you get the 5 minutes because you're allowed to switch your mechs if you want.
Oh, right, okay. You would think, though, that everybody would just be ready. Apart from the 1DC.
Yep. But yeah, the reason that they allow for the swapping of mechs is so that people can't abuse the redrop rule. So that way you can't just see what your opponent's bringing.
Call a redrop and then...
Yeah.
I think at this point, with the match being in the bag, I can't see there being a particularly strong reason for any underhandedness from any team. So, yeah, there we go. Both teams practically ready up immediately. Team 2 lock up straight away. We're going back in.
And turn off the timer so it doesn't go ring-a-ding-ding mid-match.
No, I believe unless are you part of the rules team or ref in any way?
No.
Or
no.
So as casters, we can help with timing, I believe, but we can't enforce rules, and it's entirely up to the teams to agree or disagree to give people more time.
And it looks like Decibel was able to successfully connect this match.
Oh, I will let you know very shortly, as my load time is very high.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Here we go. No, it's okay. I'm in now. So are we good to go?
We're good.
So over on Team 1, we have NAFF in Osiris, Spider, Executor, Nightgear, Black Lanner, and a Battlemaster 1G. So a mixed bag of goodies. And then over to you.
Over here on Team 2 side, that's FJRD SRM. We have a Thunderbolt 5ST, a Locust 1V, an Incubus 4, Blood Aspirancor, a Novacat A Mauler MX90, and a Bowmaster 1G.
Yep. So Occulto, it looks like jump blue lasers for NAFF. Occulto initially jumped up onto the first rock and immediately lost 15% of his health to 6 sets of blue lasers from the other from Fjord.
Oof.
This looks like it's going to be a standoff. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a long-range standoff between both teams. There's blue lasers everywhere. Battlemaster 1G, I'm assuming is 5 ER larges, 6 ER larges. Nightgear 1 is in Gauss ER large. Nightgear 2, I would imagine, is exactly the same build, Gauss ER large. And then a skirmish party on the right flank.
Oh, AC Glint being seen by Crazy Carl at the entrance of the tunnel. AC Glint pulling away. Crazy Carl not pursuing.
Yeah. There was a UAV dropped. I don't know who.
That would be
that,
FJRD. Yeah. That would be FJRD's.
No,
UAV.
NAFF shoot. Yeah, NAFF shoot that down, and Glint is out into. Just for the purposes of the recording, I'll show you the low ground that you crawl through, and a tour of the tunnel.
D Clouds up here, seeing CERN, saying, "Nope, I do not want to engage with a mauler."
Yeah. So I think at this point, NAFF are trying to flip Theta and then pull range, and then just use blue lasers to control 3 points.
You mean Kappa?
Is it Kappa? Apologies.
Yeah. Don't worry, I made
Kappa.
the same mistake earlier today.
It's over in the water, isn't it? Yeah. So yeah, it is Kappa. And I'm assuming that Fjord have done exactly the same thing. They've took Theta and they're just going to use blue lasers to hold a 3-point triangle.
Yep. The Dorito cap.
Pretty similar damage on both teams.
Looks like NAFF threw up another UAV. D Clouds engaging on CERN in that Mauler MX-90. Looks like D Clouds got an arm blown off, got halved, got legged.
Oh, that's a bad spot for D Clouds. Good reaction from the Thunderbolt to come in. Pulse lasers trying to take out. CERN has had some good shooting in that Mauler.
Yep.
2 kills for CERN. Glint is still engaging, even though he's on 50%, and you don't really want to engage multiple AC5 assault as a light. Unlike lasers, where you can kind of shrug off the damage, if you get hit by 6 AC5s, it's all of the damage. So 30 damage on a light is bad.
Oh, very bad.
Yeah, I tend to, if I see a Daka mech as a light, I will do my very best to not go anywhere near where it can see. It only takes 1 lucky shot.
Yep. Now,
especially if your light is running XL engines, which most do.
Yeah, NAFF was able to uncap Kappa from FJRD SRM, but they still are down roughly 70 points.
Yeah, and 2 mechs as well, importantly.
Yep.
2 of their fast movers. So there's only the Spider, which is halved now as a cap mech. I would expect to see that Spider never expose again until there is at least a couple of kills on the field team. Both Nigears on 56 and 58%. Sylvente and his Locust is pretty fresh. Die Crazy Carl and the Incubus pretty fresh. So Fjord are keeping their lights at range. Is the Locust a large X-Pulse or a large laser build? I'm seeing a blue pulse. I'm seeing a pulse from there, a blue pulse. So yeah, it looks like it's a large. 1 large pulse laser, yeah.
I am currently following NAFF as they push forward. Ooh, down goes Meech Core.
Yeah, unless there's some severe focus here from NAFF, this looks like a very one-sided. Yeah. There's roughly 1 mech's worth of armor between the remaining NAFF members. Yeah, this is a foregone conclusion.
Yep.
41% of a Spider remaining. Rain in the Executioner getting pushed by the entirety of the Fjord backline now. And it'll just be a case of lights will go light hunting and flip as many caps as they can. Oh yeah. So Glint has given in and exposed himself.
Glint is legged.
Yeah, he's not going to do a lot. This Locust 1V is such a versatile mech. It can do everything from lasers to Dakar. I've seen it with a light AC5, large pulse laser, X-pulse. It can do everything except for missiles, and even then you just switch to the 3M, which does the same but with missiles. It's such a good mech, but good game to Fjord. A6 with almost 1,000 damage. Yeah, Fjord Alpha Lance, 6 kills.
Oof. Alrighty. I'm gonna get back into the lobby, see if they've already started doing the map bans.
Just a few comments. I'm a fan of NAFF. AC Glint, go Naffers, supporting himself. Canyon is banned. So we're waiting for NAFF to pick a map. I would highly expect mining at this point. I don't think anybody wants to go HPG if you can choose not to. And I believe there's a slight advantage to Team 2 when it comes to mining.
Very small. I believe Team 2 side gets to see onto Theta. Like it has the gaps in the buildings.
Yeah, so Team 2 can, from Echo 5 and Delta 5, can see through the gap onto Theta. I would expect I don't actually know what to expect. It's either Assault Brawl or we haven't seen Dire Wolves, we haven't seen
Executioners.
We've seen one Executioner.
Haven't seen Chargers yet.
We've seen one 3K early on. There was a 3K in Forest in Frozen City.
Was it drop 2? Had to have been.
Yeah, it was on NAF's team. So NAF have used one charger. It was the 4 X-Pulse 3K.
Gotcha.
So we've seen that, but there's no bans, so everything's open. We could have gargoyles, we could have chargers, we could have bracket build stalkers with 5 SRM 6s and medium pulse lasers. Yeah, be interesting. Obviously, you have to weigh up whether you go full brawl and just ignore caps, or whether you still want a light to run around and grab some caps for you. Let's see.
We haven't seen any stone rhinos yet.
No, and oddly, we haven't seen any new weapons. Have you? I don't think we've seen any. We haven't seen any.
We saw Magshot on the first drop.
Was it mag shot on the first shot? Right. Okay. Yeah. So there wasn't. We've seen the mag shots. Then we've not seen any clan plasmas since the patch. Not seen any beam lasers. Not seen any thunderbolts or lock-ons at all from any team.
There was
one game earlier on that ran a Lerm deck.
Yep.
But it got throttled. They killed one light, and then the entire enemy team were so on top of them that they couldn't get any damage in.
Yep, that was the Dirty Socks match from earlier today.
That was the Dirty Socks from earlier on. The lock-ons are just not. They're okay as a support weapon if there's one person in a 12-man team, and everybody else is getting them locks so they can do some support damage. But it's so unfocused and it's so spread, and the minimum range requirements, the lock-on requirements, it's just they're hard to use. They're hard to use. You have to have a really good set of circumstances, and or be a really good player to get any damage out of a lock-on weapon.
Well, that, and if you notice that the enemy team is pushing, you have to start backing up. You have to be backing up 15 seconds before they start pushing.
Yeah. Now the good lock-on weapons at the moment are, I believe, Thunderbolts. They're the best of a bad pick. Maybe ATMs.
I would pick ATMs over Thunderbolts, honestly.
I think the 0 minimum range on the Thunderbolt is okay. And the focus of mainly center torso. But obviously, you can get a lot of damage potential out of ATMs at specific ranges.
Mm-hmm.
But again, you have to be a really good pilot to maintain that range. So
ATM 3, you get what? 2.5 damage per missile. So you're looking at.
It scales depending on the bracket.
Yeah, I'm talking at like the that 60 meter to what 270. I believe is the
7.5 damage. A shot, an ATM 3.
Yeah.
Now I believe there is an ATM Mist Lynx that is supposedly quite good.
The Ebon Dragoon.
Yeah, it's got some real good quirks in some of the arms for missiles. A lot of ammo as well.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah,
it's not bad at all.
I still want to see the longbow do longbow things rather than just laser vomit.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't seen many longbows this week.
They're just because they're getting forced into laser vomit with weakish side torsos for an assault. There are just better mechs to laser vomit with for the tonnage. Mostly clan mechs.
Mostly. Alrighty, what are you seeing over there on NAFF side?
So no holds. We have 2 Vipers, a Stone Rhino, 2 Summoners, 2 Executioners.
Nice.
So it looks like a fast... I don't know. Until you see the Executioners, you don't know until you see them what they are. So we have spawned over on the right side with the Heavies. 2 Stone Rhinos?
Yep.
Am I looking at the wrong team? I am looking at the wrong team. I'm looking at blue. Right, so the mech builds were right. You push towards Gamma and Theta for NAFF. One of the Occulto and the Viper's taken a big hit again for
peeking out.
I think he just peeked too far and took a blow for it.
Got smacked by a Mad Cat and a Stone Rhino.
Yeah. Handily the damage just spread, so he seems pretty fresh everywhere except for some back armor.
Yep. Over here on Team 2 side, we have a Blood Asp, Stone Rhino 7, a Jenner 2C Fury, a Spider 5e, a Mad Cat 1, a Stone Rhino 4, and a Rifleman 2C2.
Just checking the builds, it looks like NAFF have Red Laser Brawl on the XEs and SRM 6s on the Summoners. So I think NAFF are going to wait for a Brawl push to be called, and then the action is going to go thick and fast. But Fjord have a very well spread firing line covering Theta, and they're going for a Dorito cap as well, as you mentioned, for Kappa Sigma Theta.
Yep.
So it's going to be really down to NAFF to make a move and find where they want to push and when they want to do it. They have still got a UAV covering most of their positions as well. Or it did show one on the map, I can't actually see it in the air.
Yeah, the UAVs have been shot down over there towards NAFF.
So the Stone Rhino is going to take a beating, as it's the only thing exposing at the moment, and NAFF have decided to call a left side push into the low ground, heading towards Theta Kappa. They have a wide flank from the Viper taking some shots, and I believe they're going to engage in on
the Rifleman 2C2
of TK Delta. So they have closed the distance. Fjord need to rotate away from this as fast as they can. As soon as the NAFF team get their range, I don't think Fjord have the heat capacity to sustain a brawl.
TK Delta in that Rifleman 2C2 getting beat up really quickly.
Yeah. It's just a really tight angle to take. Another UAV, defensive UAV from TK Delta. Kulto's Viper goes and spots. Passenger in the Viper F has gone spider hunting.
TK Delta goes down.
Yep. Kulto's Viper is very beat up. Lemire in the Stone Rhino is trying to get into a position where he can get some shots off, but he's also very beat up. D-Clouds and Drake taking a lot of damage. Descabil
goes down.
Very quickly falls down. The Spider's in a bad spot. He shouldn't be anywhere near that. The Stone Rhino should be walking backwards, trying to increase the distance, while the other Stone Rhino keeps cover, but he's going to go down real quick. He's halved.
Dalen goes down.
Yep, no weapons. The Spiders and the Jenna of Fjord are trying to get into the back of the Summoner, who's very, very weak. 35%. He's gone. There you go. The damage on NAFF is, there's a lot in, but there's only a few mechs remaining. 24% of a Stone Rhino, which I would imagine goes down to a strong breeze. Sylvantis Spider shuts down.
Oh no.
And is immediately punished for it. And yeah, solid push, good coordinated push from NAFF. I wouldn't say a poor way to receive from Fjord, but they probably could have pulled distance a lot sooner if they had any scouting or better communication on the right side from TK Delta. Obviously I don't know what the comms were, but yeah, it could have gone either way. I think it was just a lack of focus from Fjord, because almost all of the NAFF mechs were dead. All down in red, 30%. The damage from Fjord, 680, 669, 300, 595. The damage was so spread.
Yep.
Then again, also on NAFF, 627, 711, 545, 527, 400. Huge damage numbers. So it really did come down to focus. think that was 4-1 at the end of the match.
Yep.
Late one. I have another cast in 40 minutes.
Yeah, I have another cast coming up here soon as well.
Yeah, I've been asked to do one at 2:30 in the morning my time as well.
Oof.
Which I'm not going to do. I've got plenty of Fallout 4 to be playing. So.
Yep. Alrighty. Well, that's it for this match. 4-1 win for NAFF against FJRD SRM here in Division E or Group 5, whatever you want to call it. Thank you so much, Umbral Dancer, for coming out and co-casting this with me.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Livish, for putting on this tournament. Thank you, everybody who came out for supporting these teams, supporting Umbral Dancer and I as your casters this evening. Thank you so much, everybody.
Go us.
And thank you, PGI, for making such an awesome game. Yeah.
And for supporting the tournament as well. Obviously,
Yeah.
everything from this is gifted. It's a completely player run, where all the support is given by PGI for the reward side. So I believe, unless some of the players are very, very generous and buy a lot of codes and then just run the tournament anyway. But these tournaments are a great source of advertising for the game. You get to see a lot of different builds, a lot of different ways to play. For anybody who is new, there's the MechWarrior MWO Comp Discord, where you can find a team, find builds, just generally talk about the game, get any questions you need answering. So yeah. Join up if you're interested in comp. Comp is a great way to get into the game, and it can also, once you've finished your first tournament, it gives you a really good boost in resources to continue playing and look at building your mech base up.
Yep. Anyways, I'm going to end this stream here very soon.
Awesome.
As always, everybody, stay hydrated. This stream is about to end. I'm Luscious Balzac from FJRD. Keep it luscious, everybody.
From now. Good night, dude.